Hi, everyone. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about the dangers of morality. Unfortunately, even today, the most dangerous forms of morality comes from religion. But there's also some people that are not religious whatsoever that are going to do certain things that they shouldn't do because of morality. So it's not just about religion, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But so so first of all, when it comes to religion, what is going on today? Okay, a lot of things in the world. There is an incredible amount of suffering, okay, pain that exists only because of religion and morality, because it's associated. And it's not because we are of good intentions, and most people tend to be, that it means that what we do is acceptable. You may think that what you do is moral. It doesn't necessarily mean that it is. And it's not because we think that something is immoral that it means that we should necessarily act the way that some people do right now. So, one of the biggest problems that we have today is terrorism. Okay. It's been lowered a little bit in recent times because of the coronavirus, but still, there's a lot of problems in some of those countries. And when we think about those terrorists that torture people, kill a lot of innocent people, we tend to think that, hey, those guys, they don't care whatsoever about morality, right? On the contrary, terrorists care a lot more about morality than most people. And a lot of people don't understand that. What they do as religious and moral justifications. Absolutely. So some of the things that they do may be specifically related to some things that are mentioned in the religious books or some interpretations. But what is clear is that they think that certain things are immoral and worthy of a certain punishment, for example. That there's certain things that they think that you will deserve to be lashed, or even killed in some cases. And those beliefs here all have moral justifications. So it's not because it's obvious to us that those things are terrible and immoral that it means that it is to them. So when they support those things, they think that they are doing the right thing, that it's moral. Another thing that is extremely dangerous is that those religious people and those books tend to have a God in it. So those books and those texts, they tend to be associated with perfection. It makes it a lot more dangerous. You could look, and a lot of people look at those books. They read, and what they read, they automatically believe because it's associated with perfection. So it shouldn't be too surprising that a lot of people still believe those things today or do certain things because those things are reinforced by the power of God. Okay. Yes. And, hopefully it's going to get better in the following decades because a lot of people may not understand exactly what's going on and why, but it's definitely related to religion, and more people, I'm pretty sure, are extremely tired of what is going on. So, well, you have to understand that it's related to that. Okay, so next, so here we got a very important example related to religious morality. Now let's move on to non-religious morality. So, for example, you could have some people like vegetarians, people that care about a lot about animal cruelty or the environment, for example. And what you are going to see sometimes in some of those people or activists is that they are going to be very frustrated. They are going to feel, and morality in those cases can create a lot of hatred and conflicts. Okay, and like I said, it's not because you may be right or not. It doesn't matter if you're right or not here, if something is just or not. Unjust, you shouldn't necessarily do what some people do right now, okay? Because we see some people, they are going to go out. You are going to see sometimes a lot of people come together outside, and this can even lead to some riots or some violence at least. And you got to ask yourself the question, is what I do better for the world? Is it going to make the world a better place? And sometimes you're going to realize that probably not. What you do is probably not going to help the world. The way that you fight this thing here that you consider immoral may not be the best way to fight it. And in fact, sometimes the best way to fight something is to not fight it at all. So you got to think about that very seriously, because it's very, very easy to get emotional when it comes to morality. With a lot of things that happens in the world, we'll all have our opinions on some of those things. And you got to be aware of how you feel because of your beliefs. And even for me, it can be difficult. I am sensible, and I think that I became even more sensible because of my health issues. So there are certain things that are going to make me feel more hatred, that are related to my knowledge. And I wish that I wouldn't feel that way, but it's not possible. It's my brain that doesn't want to stop generating those emotions. So like I said, another problem with that is that sometimes because we think that certain things are immoral, we are going to point some people out in real life or on social media. And, well, it's not because something, and it may be immoral in a certain way, it's not because it is that it means that we should do that. Okay, this is something that can create a lot of conflicts. And, again, we don't tend to realize that. This is something that is very common if you look at on social media. This is not easy, I agree. But this is something that you have to question, if you should do that. And in some cases, maybe, depending on what it is, it could be preferable. But a lot of times I think that it will just be preferable if, to not do anything. like I said, because what is going on in the world is that you're going to realize that if some people didn't care whatsoever about morality, they will actually commit less bad actions. Absolutely. So even if they didn't care, it will be much better than what they do right now while caring a lot about morality. And again, that's something that a lot of people don't realize. But of course, like I said, it's much more dangerous when it comes to religious morality still, for now. But in the future, it's going to change. We'll still have to fix other things that are not related to religion. One of those things that is still related to justice and morality that we will have to deal with until the end of mankind is when people commit some serious crimes. When we see some criminals commit some crimes, even extremely violent crimes, we automatically feel that we want to punish those people. Okay, we want to make them suffer. And again, this is all related to that. And we have to ask ourselves the question, is it really going to help the criminal? Is this going to make the world a better place to constantly hate criminals for what they do? I don't think so. And I understand that this isn't easy because sometimes some crimes are absolutely terrible, and it's going to make us much more emotional. But we have to be aware of that. That's the first step. And if we do, a lot of hatred and conflicts will be greatly reduced in the world. So that's it. I wanted to give you a couple of arguments related to the dangers of morality. I am planning on uploading a video soon about the dangers of reforms and revolutions. So make sure that you check that out. So thanks for watching, and see you in another video.